So today on our show, we have an artist who created Mistakes Were Made, a new hit series that you can find on YouTube, and she's the author of the novel The Lying Juilliards. I'm Emily, I'm your host, and the artist space is very proud to present today Shanna Roberts Salée.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm super good. Thank you so much for coming.
Pleasure.
Amazing artist that we have today. So, are you ready to start?
I'm ready to start.
Yay!
Yeah.
First question, where were you born?
In Montreal.
In Montreal?
Yep, born and raised.
Where does your father and mother come from? What's their background?
My father is from Laval.
Okay.
Grew up in Laval. My mother grew up in Quebec City, just in the suburbs in Sainte-Foy.
And did they meet here?
Yep, they met in Montreal while they were students in university, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. And they got together and then...
Been together ever since?
No. No, they got a divorce.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. My bad.
Painful childhood. No, I'm joking. No, they got a divorce when I was young.
Okay. So but they met here.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
Great. Where did you live as a child? So you said Montreal. Did you move around?
Yeah, I moved around quite a lot, actually. Lived in Laval, Brossard, and just my parents both moved around a little bit, and then after that, they both randomly at the same time decided to settle in the West Island.
Okay.
And then that's where
so it's pretty close to each other.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I have one sister and two brothers.
What are their names?
My sister's name is Kim. She's 30. My brother Nathaniel is 19, and my littlest brother Stefan is 14.
Oh, my little brother is Stefan too.
Oh, really? Nice.
It's 14. It's baby.
Yeah, a little baby in high school.
In high school. Still in high school.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you got so much to do.
Yeah, I know.
What was it
so
like
many mistakes.
Just wait.
Yeah.
What was it like to grow up in your household? Was it strict? Was it liberal? Was it
It was like a surprising blend of both.
Okay.
My father was very liberal. My mother was more strict. My father had a very strict, if I don't see it, it's not happening kind of policy. Whereas my mom was way more like in your face about it. And
if I don't see it.
I used to do I'd get in all kinds of trouble, so yeah, my mom would come down hard. And then my father would be like, oh, me too. Yeah.
What good memories do you keep from your childhood?
Most of them. Really good childhood. Going to the pool in the summer, and when I was a bit older, like working at camp in the summer as a monitor, just kind of being able to ride my bike to my friend's house and just kind of, I don't know, Pointe Claire had that very idyllic movie kind of suburbia feel to it, which is basically how we grew up.
It's a nice place.
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. Yeah.
Do you remember what were your interests as a kid?
Film.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Writing, film, acting. Yeah.
Okay, so you knew.
Yeah. From like I used to make my best friend Frankie. I used to make her make movies with me in her basement, and she never wanted to, but I'd be like, you have to, and you have to act well. You have to do it right. I get really mad at her. Yeah.
So you knew.
She supports me now, though.
Did you like going to school?
Not particularly.
Why?
I felt like a lot of subjects were forced on us. Okay. Whereas, like, I felt like I had no use for physics or math or basically those physics and math, and I just felt like I would never need it. I knew I would never need it. Didn't want to learn it. But the social aspect of high school was fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
Talking about high school, how did your teenage years go? Was it horrible? Was it fun?
No, it was really fun. I don't have any, like, traumatic... I mean, I had braces for 4 years, and I had a face mask. Oh, no. But I don't have any really traumatic memories of being a teenager. I had, like, a good group of friends, and we used to get in trouble a lot and have fun and whatever. So it was really It was fun. I'm still friends with not most, but a few of my close friends from high school.
And do you remember any big mistakes that you made, a big lesson that you made when you were a teenager?
Yes. When I was in grade 10, we jumped out of the window in English class to join a protest against the Iraq War. Okay. And, like, the school wouldn't let us go to the protest. So we just jumped out the window during class because they wouldn't let us out, and then all these kids from other schools were like rushing the yard of the school and were like, come join us, and with like big boards and stuff. And we just kind of were like, screw this. We opened the window and we jumped out. We got in a lot of trouble. We got suspended for that.
Yeah. So I was like, what?
Yeah.
But was it high?
No, it was like
dangerous?
ground. It was like maybe 6 feet.
Okay.
And there was like a snowbank. It was in March. So we just kind of like rolled off very graciously.
And you got suspended.
Yeah, we did.
That's
we got
marvelous.
Yeah.
You know, that's, yeah.
So yeah, that was a biggie.
So you talked about being into films at an early age.
Yeah.
Do you know what you exactly wanted to become when you were a kid?
No, it always kind of just switched back and forth. First I wanted to be a singer.
Okay.
That stopped quite early when I realized that I couldn't sing. Then acting was my big dream.
Okay.
And then as I got older, my interest just kind of developed, and my passion veered more towards writing and filmmaking.
And did you become what you thought you would become?
Not completely, in the sense that I see like 10 years down the line. When I was young, it was like the big dream, you know? This is just like on my way to there.
To there, because we're not at the big dream
No, we're
yet,
not.
But we're getting there.
We're slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You're going to be there. Do you remember what was your first paid job?
McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's.
At 16?
15.
15,
Yeah,
okay.
they hire you at 15, sometimes at 14. Nobody knows this, but it's true.
Isn't it illegal?
It's like, it's a gray area. It's a gray area.
Is it in between?
Yeah, I was 15. I worked there for 2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yes, surprisingly. Made a lot of good friends. I was a terrible slacker. Didn't want to get promoted to anything. Did like least amount of effort possible, but had a lot of fun.
That's good.
Really fun, yeah.
Where do you live now?
I live in NDG.
NDG, okay.
Yeah.
So, not kind of midway to your parents?
Yeah.
Not too far.
Yeah, I used to live in Myland, so this
Okay.
it's more convenient.
It's more convenient.
Yeah,
Right? Do you like NDG?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I miss Myland though. Myland is like
That's
my
special.
heart and soul. Yeah.
That's
That's
really
really
thing.
Yeah, but
It's a little thing in it.
NDG's cool.
And do you plan on living in Montreal? I mean, soon or not soon? I mean, or do you think that you're going to stay here?
That is a question I basically ask myself every day.
Okay.
And I don't know, who knows? I'm open to going anywhere. I'm open
Okay.
to doing anything. I don't have any like physical ties to Montreal, and any emotional ties that I have are fine. I can still love everyone in Montreal from afar, so.
And is there like somewhere that you would love to go more than other places?
There's like LA for sure. New York is another one. I considered going to Vancouver. I'd been there a few years ago when I started out, and it rains too much. Just like destroyed my soul.
Like
the
in London,
rain.
it's like it's too much.
Yeah. So I guess maybe like New York, LA, London I would consider, but the rain again. Yeah. So
yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Did you go to university?
Mhm.
And where did you go?
Concordia, Communication Studies. Class of 09.
Class of 09, that was a bachelor's degree?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
did you do anything else afterwards?
No, not in terms of
Of a degree?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you like Concordia?
Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool?
It was cool. It was fun. I played rugby there as well, so that was a big part of my life while I was a student.
That's nice.
It was rugby, yeah. It was fun.
And what do you believe in terms of religion or destiny, karma, fate, angels, crystals? I don't know. Just name it all.
Angels and crystals.
Anything.
I firmly believe in Harry Potter.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Well, I do.
Yeah.
I believe in karma. I'm really not very religious at all. I do believe in karma, and the only religion that has attracted my interest in any way was Buddhism.
Yeah.
But never in such a firm way that I wanted to become a practicing Buddhist. So, but the concept of karma, very important to me.
What goes around comes
around.
around.
What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love this little picture that sometimes you see on Facebook that dear karma, I think you missed a few people.
Yeah.
this is precious.
They'll get their reading.
Yeah.
You'll get what's coming.
How big of a place do the arts occupy in your life?
Huge.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. It's my job. It's what I do on the side. It's everything.
It's everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
And how would your life look like if you didn't have, if it wasn't allowed to do what you're doing?
I'd probably be miserable. Perhaps in jail. No, I'm kidding.
Trying to do it anyway.
I'd be miserable, and and I would probably unimaginable.
Okay.
I'd be miserable. I'd lead a gray life. It would be no good.
It would be no good.
Yeah, no.
Who's your biggest inspiration? Could be someone in the acting or art community, but
I have multiple inspirations. I guess for writing, Douglas Coupland,
okay.
who's a Canadian author, was one of my biggest inspirations. For filmmaking, Wes Anderson,
okay, yeah.
big influence. Quentin Tarantino, just one of those. And yeah, just I guess in my life, my parents. I know it sounds, my parents are an inspiration, but they are.
But they are.
Yeah.
I mean, if
for different reasons,
yeah.
each of them. Because both my parents remarried, so I have technically 4. But they're all an inspiration in various ways. And my little brother, my littlest brother is
the 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's had a tough run of it. So yeah, yeah.
No, that's good. Little brothers are very.
For sure, for sure.
Do you have any favorite inspirational quotes that you tell yourself? Maybe to not give up or.
I have one tattooed on my side.
Really?
Yeah. It's you need chaos in your soul to give birth to a dancing star. It's a quote by Friedrich Nietzsche, and basically it's the only way I know how to explain myself to myself. So that's a quote I live by.
It's just to let it be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, it's very nice and nice there too. It's very. And when did you develop confidence in your ability? Because you have more than one. I mean, you're acting, you're writing, you're directing as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know that I have confidence in my abilities. No, I guess writing was always something that was part of me.
Okay.
I wrote when I was really young, and I just always assumed that everybody else wrote as well, like short stories and things. And then my father one day was like, what are you up to? And I showed him the stories I was writing. He was like, wow, this is really good. And then he's like, do you do this a lot? Like, didn't really have any idea that I was writing so much. And I write a lot. And then, so writing for me was always just kind of there.
Okay.
Always a part of me. And I guess as I grew older, my writing hopefully became more sophisticated. But as for acting and directing, I guess is something that blends everything else together. You know, and when I'm at work, I get to see a lot of directors and the way that they direct. So you know, you can be a visionary and have all these ideas, but if you're incapable of translating them to a crew and to actors, then doesn't mean anything. You know, there's so much talent that can be wasted if you don't know how to properly
put it up.
Yeah. So.
And how difficult do you think it is to get into this industry, the acting industry?
Acting, I think, is extremely difficult. But to me, I don't know. I always felt like acting was something that I would only want to do if I wrote the parts to be acted. I went to one audition years ago, and it did not go well. Like, fucking bombed. And I left, and I'm never doing this again, ever. It's just not for me. Okay. And so I feel like acting is more.
You do your own work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is how you
and I take a lot of pleasure in it, but I don't think I would have ever been able to have gone the traditional route.
Okay.
So that's why filmmaking and writing, in a sense, I feel you have more power, more control, and that appealed to me more.
And do you think, going towards that, do you think that artists are doomed to always struggle in life? I mean, are we a little bit more messed up than the rest that don't call themselves artists?
I think we're all messed up, and I think we're all doomed.
We all need therapy.
We're all doomed to have miserable lives unless we take charge of our destiny, I guess you could call it,
what we love to do.
Of what you love to do, where you want to go. The only way to get anywhere is to just decide that that's where you want to go. So. Yeah.
So you make your own fate.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
What's your favorite movie?
Movies. Favorite movie, I'd say. I could go on about like various. I've been over this in my mind so many times, but I'd have to say like overall Pulp Fiction. Okay. Just because it was such a big influence in terms of how it's written and just taking such a simple storyline in the sense that, you know, guys look for a box, girl ODs. And just putting it together and making it such an intricate, interesting story, and so for me, and just the way it's written, it's
yeah.
just like they're not really talking about anything, but it's amazing. You just feel like you're taking part in this crazy life
world,
or whatever. Yeah, so it's cool.
And speaking of this kind of movie, who would you like to work with in terms of director? If you're not directing the project.
Okay. Wes Anderson.
Yeah.
Definitely would love to work with Wes Anderson. I just would want to watch him.
Okay.
Watch him go. The Coen brothers as well. I'd be really interested. Quentin Tarantino obviously is another one that comes to mind again. Just to watch how he works. Martin Scorsese. How he works with actors as well. Someone else I'd really like to work with is Lena Dunham.
Okay.
I would really love to see.
Yeah, to see her.
I'd love to see her
at
work. I'd love to see her in action. I'd love to see how she does it. So yeah, pretty much.
Nice. But we talked about this earlier. You do create your own work. Can you tell us about, especially Mistakes Were Made, which is a new web series?
Yeah.
And you went to LA because of it. Right?
Yes, we went to a film festival in LA. Yeah, that was really fun. Mistakes Were Made was sort of just, it actually had come out of a feature that I had written.
Okay.
And I was told over and over that it was good, but I didn't have the credentials or any like credits to be able to back it up to try to sell it or to try to get it made. So it was suggested to me that I break it down and try to do a project that was more manageable.
Okay.
So I broke it down into small episodes, took some scenes, some parts of it, and then became Mistakes Were Made. Yeah.
Amazing, by the way, web series that we can find on YouTube.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you have your own?
Yeah, we have our own website.
Okay.
It's mistakesweremade.tv.
.tv.
Yeah.
Oh, I was really good. I watched it.
Oh, really?
It's really nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a few friends in it too.
Yes.
Sebastian
of course,
and Christina.
Yeah, and Christina.
But I was really good. And how come you went to LA because of it?
I had submitted it to a few different film festivals, and that was one. It was an indie fest, LA Big House Entertainment, and one of the components of the festival was called Woman Up Film Festival.
Okay.
And it was basically just to celebrate female filmmakers and their work.
Wow.
So yeah, it was really great.
But was it just for web series or what, like?
No, it was for, there were a bunch of different categories, shorts, documentaries, whoops. Feature length, narrative.
Okay,
there were all
so
kinds of different categories.
And how long was your stay over, like, in LA?
We stayed for a week.
Okay.
The festival ran for 3 days, but we have some friends down there.
Might as
Christina and
well.
I, yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, exactly. We made a trip of it. It was great.
And if you would get any role, which role would you love to play?
Oh, that's a good question.
Or what kind of story actually calls you more than others?
I think dark comedies.
Okay.
Grab me the most. Frances McDormand in Fargo.
Okay.
Is a role that I find like spectacular. What else? Oh, in August Osage County.
Oh yeah.
The Meryl any Meryl Streep role.
Yeah, she does.
That's
good.
you know there have been a few parts, and I would love to play Jordan Belfort.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's a man, and I'll never get to play it, but The Wolf of Wall Street to me is one of the most insanely great
powerful,
characters. Yeah, just completely insane, off the wall. But
no, I would agree with that. What do you think about, speaking of Wolf of Wall Street, what do you think about nudity and sex scenes in movies? And is there something that you wouldn't feel comfortable doing?
Probably. I'm sure there's a few things that I would not feel comfortable doing. You know, nudity sometimes has its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's for shock value.
Just for free.
Sometimes it's gratuitous, but even so, a lot of nudity in life is gratuitous, so I find it still has its place.
That's true.
It just depends how it's done. You know, if it's not an objectifying, even so, even if it's objectifying, sometimes there's a purpose for it.
Yeah.
It's really depends on the movie, depends on what's happening.
And what wouldn't you do that you wouldn't feel comfortable doing?
I don't know. Probably, I'm just like I'm thinking about like pornographic scenarios, and I'm like,
yeah, that porno is out of the question.
Things on my no list.
That's okay.
Yeah, just I don't know. Probably many sex acts. If I felt that it didn't have anything to do with the scene, or that it didn't bring the story forward in any sort of capacity. If you can argue it to me that this is necessary, I'll probably do it.
Okay, but if it's not?
If it's not, then no.
And what do you think about how the industry portrays women?
Terribly, in general. I think there have been advances, and you see like a lot more female filmmakers stepping out.
Yeah.
Not just like Lena Dunham, Drew Barrymore has a production company. Kristen Wiig, Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, Amy Schumer, just kind of, and they just, it's becoming, I find it encouraging, but there's just so much that needs to be done.
Yeah, so
and it's kind of, when I started with Mistakes Were Made, and people were saying, oh, it's kind of like Girls, it's kind of done already. One show about girls in their 20s, and it's already done,
We have
like millions of shows about guys, and it's
true, right?
And it's, so for me, I don't know, there can always be more, and I heard a lot about, women in Hollywood saying that, why don't we just take the parts that are written for men and just slap on a woman instead, and it would be the same thing. And it works.
Yeah.
It's, a lot of parts are written for men.
That would be it would be really funny to take all the main characters, lead men, and just turn for women. And that would be really fun.
Yeah. So
just to show that we're capable of doing this.
Yeah, of course we are.
And speaking of which, what do you think about the roles offered to women? I mean, right now, how do you feel about this? Because it's, like you said, it's kind of changing. We still have a long way to go.
It's not really changing. I mean, I think that the roles often offered to women are often one-dimensional and very stereotypical of this specific genderized category that we want them to fit in. The girlfriend, the receptionist, the mother, the sister, the hooker, and
just to make sure that people see it.
But yeah, no. Essentially, I just, women as men can be both one-dimensional and very complex, and I think that we need to see that more, the complexity of women just as humans, the same way that, we often portray men as anti-heroes and like tortured souls and complex characters. I think that the same thing is obviously due to women.
A lot of the time when you see, like, for auditions, it's written, like, beautiful but broken. We had this discussion, like, with someone else before, and I'm like, it's true. It's like, you're, like, the hooker, and you're broken, but you're beautiful. It's like, anything else?
Or you're the career woman who's ball busting, but really in the end, like, she just wants to love. And she wants to be loved.
Of course, why not? What do you think about the industry using 25-year-olds to play 16-year-old characters?
That doesn't bother me that much. I think that it's just a question of casting, really, and in that a lot of... I actually think that's kind of smart in certain ways, because a lot of the time, a 25-year-old who looks like a 16-year-old will have the emotional complexity to be able to portray that. Whereas a 16-year-old will just be a 16-year-old, and it will be more difficult to tap into that deeper. But that's just my opinion. I don't really have any problem with that. No.
What's the most ridiculous... Okay, that's special for you. That actually, I wrote this knowing that I was going to have you on set. What's the most ridiculous thing that you saw on a set? Because you work on many sets.
Yes.
Or something like the most, like you saw that and like, okay, this is really ridiculous.
There are so many things. Just okay. Well, obviously can't name names.
Of course not.
Once saw an actor that was so drunk on set that his shoes were falling off, and I had to put his shoes back on for him. So that ranks up there, and like at the end of that day, I was like, okay, this is my life today. This is what I'm doing.
I'm putting shoes back on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's just stuff like that.
So it really does happen.
Sometimes.
Sometimes,
I mean,
not every time.
Most actors are very professional, and but some are.
But you had a lot of experience with American productions coming here, right?
And
you're working on set.
Yeah.
Do you feel there's a difference between the American productions and production from here or other countries?
There's a huge difference in the way that just the general vibe of the set. I find that American productions roll a lot more like a machine.
Okay.
Whereas smaller Quebec production, and again, that also varies between a film and a TV series.
Of course,
but
the budget.
Yeah, but a Quebec production or even English Canadian is a lot more sort of organic, and the crew and the cast and the producers and everyone it's a lot more of a team effort rather than it is like a clear hierarchy, which on an American show, an American set, you really see the hierarchy.
Do you have a preference with, or you don't really mind?
It's two different things. It's completely, you have a different, like as an AD you also have a different level of control on a smaller production where you're asked to do more things and you're asked to be more involved in a lot of different situations, wherein like on an American show everyone has their strict specific task and you don't veer off of that. So they're both different. They both have a big level of responsibility, but in a different way. So yeah. And
you just mentioned being an AD. Just for the people that don't know, AD is assistant
director.
And what do you usually do? Like what your day looks like? Apart from tying up shoes.
My day basically. I work with extras mainly. That's the bulk of my job. Extras and actors. I place the background, so I place the extras in a scene according to what the director wants me to. What the tone, what the setting, the storyline, the scene entails. So I set up the background. I also deal with actors and communication between the departments. With regards to the actors mainly, but then I also dispatch information to the crew when we're changing scenes. If particular things are happening during the day, like I'm in charge of telling everyone that. And I'm also one of my biggest tasks being support for the first AD. So I'm the extension of him on set. I'm the third.
Third, sorry.
Yeah, second is at base, does call sheet, a lot more paperwork oriented. Yeah, it's more of an office job, a second AD. And the third is basically the extension of the first.
And what else do you do on a set? Because have you just been AD so far on big sets like this?
I was a PA once upon a time, a long time ago, in Vancouver, and then
PA being
production assistant, which is
just to make sure.
Production assistant is basically calls rolls to make sure that the doors are closed, that there's no sound, and just all kinds of tasks with the walkies and all that kind of stuff. So I did that. Pretty much everyone starts being a PA, and then you just kind of figure out your path. Yeah.
So this is PA and AD is pretty much the first one you did. Have you been extras as well?
I was an extra once on The Secret, which was a movie that they shot at John Abbott.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and they did a casting call for all students, so
just
$100. Yeah, let's do it. It was.
And if ever there's extra missing on set, will you is that you that take the place as well, or is it someone else from the crew that can? Because I heard that sometimes they use crew members when you don't have enough extras.
Oh, that it'll never be me because I need to direct them. Yeah. But yeah, no, we've been known to take off your walkie, go just go walk, go do it, and you'll get a grip who's like, what? Okay, whatever.
Okay. And what's the last movie that you watched?
Carol, last night.
Carol.
Yeah, it's a new movie.
I haven't heard about that.
It's with Cate Blanchett. It's her latest film. It's a drama, so a lesbian love affair in the 50s.
Okay. No.
With Rooney Mara as well.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, it's really good. It's kind of heavy. It's a heavy film, but
that's not on TV right now.
No, it's in theaters. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And you thought it was really good?
Yeah, it was. It was, had sort of a, I don't know, a Xavier Dolan vibe to it. It's just very, have you seen Mommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a very nostalgia, melancholy, vibe to it. It was very good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah.
And the two lesbian lover being
Kate Blanchett and Rooney Mara.
Okay, so that's the couple. Oh, that's nice. Okay.
You should check it out.
Well, Kate Blanchett is amazing.
She's amazing.
She's amazing. Her and Meryl Streep are pretty much my top.
Yeah.
So we get to talk about the book. What kind of projects do you usually write about? The book that you've been.
This book I've been flinging around. This book, well, I read short stories, but this book I'm very interested in families and family dynamics. And so basically this book is about a family called the Juilliards. And as you can see, they lie a lot.
It's kind of a given. The
yeah, the title. And the end. No, so basically, yeah, it's a family that is very corrupt and they live in the suburbs. And I just had this idea about a family that was very, very corrupt and completely the opposite of my experience growing up. And like I was trying to figure out where the members would go, what would their motives be, what kind of trouble would they get themselves into that would create all these lies that they would spin together with each other and against each other. And so basically the story is written from the point of view of each of the members of the family. Okay. So there's 5 narrators. And yeah, so it's over a summer, the family is reunited, the kids are grown up, the family's reunited, so everyone has their baggage. And then things just kind of get out of control with their finances, and they all think that they are the only one with a money problem. Okay. And so they just kind of spin a web of lies, and then all their lies get overlapped with each other, and then it just kind of implodes at the end.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to write, like say from day one to being published and being
from day one to being published, I started writing it in June 2011. Okay. Writing the actual book took me 3 months. Okay. The editing process took about a year of putting it aside for 6 months and then going back to it, and then finding a publisher was another 2 years, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah. It's.
And even because I'm looking at the art cover and I really like it. Where did you? Is that you that come up with the idea?
I came up with the idea for the. Yes, I came up with the idea for the cover, and then the Thought Catalog books. They have their own graphic designer, and together we sort of.
Okay, so about 4 years.
All in all, about 4 years. Yeah. Okay.
Do you think that let's say for your next book, if it was a smaller book or shorter story, do you think it would take that long? Or now that you know how it goes, it might go a bit quicker?
Honestly, I think that the writing process, to me, is always something that I'll have control over, but everything else after is not.
It's not in your control. No. Your power.
Yeah. Okay. Unfortunately.
Can't control that.
Yeah.
Where can we find this book?
You can find it online at Amazon and on the Thought Catalog books. If you Google it, you can go on the Thought Catalog website. And you can buy the ebook on iBooks and Amazon, and the hard copy like this. If you're interested in paper, you can find on Amazon.
On Amazon. Yeah. Okay. Do you know about the range, like how much it is?
Yeah, it's $15.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, and then the I think the ebook is now $8. Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah.
That's nice. And okay, so this is your first published one, right?
Yeah.
How many more do you have? In terms of the project that you started so far, do you have anything else?
I'm not working on a second book right now. I have Mistakes Were Made season 2 that we're currently writing.
Good.
And a couple of other scripts that I'm working on for this year. So I think this year will be more about script writing than about and pushing out another book. Yeah.
But you said that you had short stories still, right?
Yeah, I have some short stories. They're always fun to try to get published in literary magazines and stuff, and every once in a while, I haven't written in a while just because of work, but every once in a while it's nice to think of a nice little story or whatever, and then you write it out, and it just feels like...
It's out of your head.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What inspires you to write?
Everything.
Because you said that this was the opposite of your family.
Right. I don't know, just the human condition and the flaws of humans interest me a lot. Why people are flawed, what happened in their lives to make them this way. I'm not, I don't like good versus evil. I really like to play with the gray area that's in the middle.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because it's very personal in the sense to, oh, this is good, this is bad.
Yeah, exactly. I always find, I like to play with the idea of morality and,
What's good.
What's good
That's
beside.
really nice. What's the first thing that you've ever written?
Oh God. Probably some, like, shitty story when I was 5. No, the first, like, short story I can remember writing was about a girl who dies in an avalanche, and then she tells the story of how she dies.
Okay.
I think it was in grade 6.
Okay.
But that's the first short. The first story I had published was called Microwavable Impotence, and it's about a writer who's, like, depressed, and then starts writing the story of how he's depressed, and then just kind of becomes this, like, cycle of, like, he's, like, you know, like, loitering in his dark basement, and he's fat, and he's just kind of like, well, so, very interesting. I'm describing it like the worst story ever. No, it was up, and it was published in the Link, the Concordia student newspaper when I was there, yeah.
And do you remember when your passion for writing began? Because it was a long. No, you didn't.
I don't. Just because I don't.
That was
think,
a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't think there was ever a moment where
Like
I was.
I
don't think there was. Oh, I should start writing. It just kind of was. There, forever and always. Yeah.
What do you want to accomplish as a writer?
Sky's the limit.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah. You know, I definitely want to keep writing. I'd love to see a book that I wrote become a screenplay, become a movie. I think that's one of my main goals.
If that happens, would you like to direct it? Or be involved in it?
I think I'd like to be involved in it. I don't think that, I'm not sure to what extent directing it would be, you know, I say that, and maybe I would want to direct it. I don't know. I don't know, it's kind of, you know, it's like a double-edged sword. If you could direct it and it'd be great, but then you might be too close to it, and then...
You might need, like, another perspective.
Exactly. Because your vision, how you put it on paper, how that's translated into a script, and how the script is translated on screen are, like, 4 totally different things. They just kind of, they all, like, have this process of being interpreted by someone else, so it's, yeah.
What do you think that are your greatest achievements so far?
This book, I'd say.
That's pretty big.
The web series has been, like, a really fun, really great project that I'm glad we were able to...
And you have good comments on it, good feedback.
Yeah, I've gotten really good feedback on it, so that's always fun, and especially, you know, when it gets accepted in festivals and different events, that's also gratifying on a different level. Those, I'd say, are the 2 big ones right now. Another one would be playing rugby. That was, I felt at the time, because I was not very athletic, and I just kind of, like, went and did it for 3 years, and I wasn't very good.
And rugby is a
Rugby's a tough sport, and I wasn't very good, but, like, I was always there and, like, ready to do it. And anyway, so yeah, I'd say those are for now.
Yeah, for now.
For now.
Like you said, sky's the limit.
Yeah.
What are 3 words that would describe you well, and why those 3 words?
Oh God. Unpredictable.
Okay.
For sure. I think that people would say that the only thing that's predictable about me is my unpredictability. Passionate, I guess I'd say, is another one. Yeah. And then the 3rd one, I'd say maybe, like, nuts or something. I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know. You know, maybe. Yeah. Passionate, unpredictable, and crazy. That makes me sound like
that's a good combo. Like, all 3 of them is like,
okay, how about intelligent or, like, poised? I prefer that. The 3rd one is poised. Yeah.
I mean, passionate, crazy, and unpredictable was really good too. It's a nice, like, woo! Fireworks going on. It's question 3. Where do you see yourself in 20 years?
Where do I see myself? I see myself definitely traveling, definitely with a camera, traveling, and the rest I don't know.
It has to be unpredictable.
Yeah, I don't know. I know.
Traveling with a camera.
Traveling with a camera to where? I don't know. For what? I don't know. But traveling with a camera.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what can I wish you for the rest of your journey?
Peace. Yeah, peace.
Peace
of mind.
Peace of mind, okay.
Yeah, yeah. That would be a good thing to wish, yeah. The rest I can figure it out on my own. But
to find peace.
To find peace of mind, yeah.
Well, this is what I wish for you. I wish that you find peace
Thank you.
of mind and peace of who you are, like, with yourself. And, no, seriously, peace is really important. I feel like it could bring down a bit of the craziness.
Yeah.
Peace.
You mean the poise?
The poise, yeah, of course.
Right, right.
But yes, I do wish you to find peace.
Thank you.
In a very nice way.
Thank you.
But we are done. This was the interview.
Thank you so much for having me.
And this is amazing. Guys, please find her book. You can have it on Amazon or ebook. Seriously, it's very affordable. And don't forget to watch her web series called
Mistakes Were Made at mistakesweremade.tv. You can also find the channel on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
And seriously, very good web series. You need to check it. Season 2 you talked about.
Yeah, season 2.
When do you have a date of coming out?
We're still working on the writing. Hopefully this year, spring, early summer, something like that. We'll start shooting.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you so much
for having me.
coming.
It's been really great.
It's very interesting. I love having artists here. It's really fun to
cool.
hear about. But guys, the book, the web series. If we want to know more about you, where can we find? Do you have a website?
I don't have a personal website, but I feel like the book and the web series will tell you a lot. Just as much as you need to know, probably.
And then yes, we'll find the craziness.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, thank you so much again, and guys, just keep on liking and sharing and commenting our videos and our Facebook page.
I'm rubbing off on you.
Okay. Just keep on watching and help us support local martial talents like this beautiful Shanna that we have right here.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.